Hello, I'm Charles, and I'm a beekeeper that loves old bee equipment. Today I'm responding to a swarm in my bee yard. I noticed the swarm was starting to pick up from one of my hives and kick off, and I walked through the capture of it. This swarm was 7 feet off the ground, and they do go significantly higher than that. But I just wanted to show you the simple tactics that I used this time around.
In the eye of the storm. I have one leaving my bee yard right now, and I'm trying to see where they're going to land. But when a swarm moves, it kind of looks like it's raining bees. It's kind of the best way to describe it. And I'm looking because they're going to land on something. And it usually is within about 100 feet of the hive, and I don't see where they're landing at. Hopefully it's somewhere I can reach them easy. Well, they're pouring out of this hive, which has my Ross Round box on it, so it's a little annoying they're leaving there. But I think they got a lot of bees, and it's early in the season, so I'm not sweating it. But this seems where they're... Oh, here's one right here. Hello, lady. How you doing? Ugh. But this is really the eye of the storm here. Oh, they're moving slightly over here. I'm trying to just find out where they're going to land. They're trying to figure it out themselves. This hive started swarming yesterday, and then it stopped midway, so I'm not quite sure what's up. I'm going to be getting clustered any second now. At least I hope. But they're really focused here on the bush now. You can see some straight up are landing and just waiting for further guidance. Some are even here on the gate just chilling. You'll notice none are stingy. They're being very sweet with me. Some are landing on me and they're just curious what's going on. It's my goal just not to crush them. But man, they're loud. And honestly, I don't think the speaker on this phone and the microphone on this phone is going to do justice how loud they are. Man, they're so beautiful when they move. Once again, a camera really doesn't do it justice, but they are so gorgeous. I think we're seeing the beginning of a cluster form right in here on this branch. Yep, that's a cluster. This is where they're going to land. So it would behoove me to go get my box to get ready to shake them. And one thing I can also do is I can trim some of this vinage around here. That way when I drop them, it's a little easier. Alright, the cluster's forming. What we did here is we did trim a lot of the vines out of the way, but I want to show you something. See this? This was clipped last year. In fact, a lot of this was trimmed last year. Why is that? Because the swarm landed in the exact same place. Might be a couple inches over, but they definitely landed on this branch that was cut. Typically, swarms are attracted to places swarms have landed before, at least anecdotally. It's probably something to do with the smell. They probably landed there because of conditions they liked anyway, and those conditions just haven't changed. There's probably multiple factors. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this box over here. We're going to set it right there, right below the swarm. And then I'm going to take a 2x4 and hit the end of that fence on the other side and just drop them into the box. The box already was prepped with a little bit of bait in it, Swarm Commander. But honestly, lemongrass would have worked just fine in this situation. Here we are, see? I set it up right below. I'm not going to pull the frames out this time. I'm just going to drop them on top of the box. I left the lid off there. I could pull out the frames, and that might be a little bit better. I'm going to pull out some center frames and hope that goes for the best, but they're going to go into the box regardless. The things I might be able to do better here are to get the box to lay a little flatter so bees don't cling to it. But you're going to find that's a solid bottom on that and not a screened bottom, so I won't have as many clinging to it. You're seeing bees are already attracted to it because of the Swarm Commander, but it's not enough to just coax that swarm down. I would be taking a roll of the dice to say, okay, they're going to settle in that box. That would be a gamble, and I doubt they would, because initially they land about 100 feet from the hive. Like, there's their hive right over there, right there, that small one right next to the one with the 2 yellow boxes on top. But they landed 100 feet from it. They're a big healthy swarm. We're going to drop them into the top of that box and then put the lid back on and hope for the best. Alright, this is the other side, and you can see they're mostly on the other side of the fence. And here's the box right here. What we're going to do is we're going to hit this really hard with a 2x4. Longer the better, because once you start shaking the swarm, that's where they can get a little stingy. Typically they're not stingy before that. I have had exceptions where I poked up to them at night and I wasn't touching them yet, and then they stung me. We're going to put it right up against here. Now remember, with some fences you could damage them if you're too rough, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get this on camera. But I'm going to hit this 2x4 against that rod hard and drop them. I'll come around and show the aftermath in a sec, but I can't film this and hit. Alright, we dropped quite a bit on there, which is good. And some are returned to the branch, some are down here. Now I'm going to suit up and I'm going to try to cut off what they're on and try to continue shaking them into the box. We'll give that a try real quick. Alright, not much of it is coming up here anymore. There's still a little bit. But we cut most of where they were landing out. Most are coming into the box. I leave the box slightly ajar so the bees can continue signaling. And they're still being pretty sweet. Like, they might not have stung me from shaking them and cutting that out, but that's the time they might with a swarm. I'm going to leave this open and let them signal, and hopefully they choose the box. I need to run to another swarm call because it's that time of year. Here's a cluster once again, which I might have to come by and hit it again. We'll see. But I feel comfortable enough leaving these guys alone, and should they be here, I'll move them onto the stand tonight. Hopefully they don't abscond.